Now, from Central Oregon's news leader, this is News Channel 21 at 5.
Well, good evening and Happy New Year. I'm Tracy Tuesday. With the new year comes a change to Oregon's DUII laws. Matthew Draxton reports on what's new and how police can distinguish between alcohol and drugs.
It's been a busy year for Bend Police. Before the holiday weekend, Bend PD clocked just under 600 DUIIs for the year. But with New Year's celebrations, the number will likely surpass 600.
When I looked at the numbers, we were at least 40 between Thanksgiving and today. And so that's more than one a day, I think. I think we're probably about one a day or more than one a day.
DUIIs, or driving under the influence of intoxicants, cover offenses involving alcohol and drugs. When it comes to enforcement, there's not much of a difference. Of the almost 700 DUII arrests last year, only 88 were solely drug-related.
What we find often is that people have both alcohol and drugs in their system, but if they test positive for alcohol, that is enough to prove impairment. And so we don't necessarily then do a blood test to prove drug impairment as well, which is why the vast majority are alcohol, but there may be some of those that are alcohol plus drugs, plus marijuana, that sort of thing.
If officers suspect a driver is impaired, they will perform a field sobriety test on the driver. If the driver fails, they'll be taken into custody, followed by a breathalyzer test. If the driver refuses, officers can get a warrant for a breath or a blood test. If the breath test is negative, but officers suspect impairment, the driver is given a blood test. Police can also use urine toxicology testing. Typically, it's ordered if the driver caused an accident and is taken to the hospital.
In general, every trauma patient gets a blood alcohol level drawn as well as a urine toxicology screen. That stuff is totally admissible in court and is not part of your protected medical records. There's many times folks have indulged or imbibed in all sorts of illegal and legal substances. And again, this is all something that we can catch on a urine toxicology screen.
With the new year, Oregon's DUII law is changing slightly.
Right now it's drugs and alcohol generally. But beginning in January, if you show signs of impairment from things that are, over the counter, right, like NyQuil or No-Dose or something like that, and you're impaired because of those things, you can also receive a DUI. Starting in 2024, drivers could be subject to a DUII if they overindulge in over-the-counter medications or prescription drugs.
Your life is in your hands and other people's lives are in your hands. A lot of times there's no second chances. The regret that I have seen some people feel after something like this, you can't fix that. You can't bring somebody back.
Penalties for DUIIs start at a minimum of $1,000 and can be raised to $2,000 if your blood alcohol level is greater than 0.15. Your driver's license will also be suspended for a year, and after that year, an ignition interlock device will need to be installed. Matthew Draxton, News Channel 21.